It's Friday, and guess what just came out? Our cover dropped. It looks so good. It never fails me. Each month we get better and better. I'm so excited about this one too. I didn't come up on here to disclose the cover, but since I'm already on here, that's why. Just wanted to show y'all. Boom! Another one. She looks so good and is so flawless. But it's posted if y'all need to. We're not here for that right now. I just couldn't contain my excitement. We're here for our guest that I'm about to join in on. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm amazing. This is like a dream come true. I've been looking at this magazine since I was a little girl. Like, wow.
Oh, I'm happy you were able to join us.
Grateful queen. Thank you for having me.
I was like, she probably really busy. Like, I don't know if she could join, but
We made time. We made time for this magazine. I was like, we're gonna make some time.
thank you so much for joining us, you guys. This is Jasmine Davis, actress on The Shy. But I do want to say your career doesn't just stop there. You do have LA's Finest that you've been on. You know, you got some stuff under your belt. So,
Yeah.
how your acting career began?
It began when I was in Chicago. By the way, I want to say hi to all the fans and all the people and all my supporters. Hi, y'all. I see y'all. I see the love. I love all of you. I don't know why my phone, I got to keep tapping. It keeps like it wants to go dark.
Me
But
too.
I started my career in Chicago. I started, modeling, of course. And then started taking classes. And what up, Chase? And I went to, a class that told me to go to Second City for comedy. And I was like, I don't know if I'm funny. And everyone was like, you're funny. Obviously, I don't really do a lot of comedy now. I wish I could. But so I went to Second City for a whole year, and it inspired me to like pursue my dreams because they were so supportive there, like so supportive. And then I moved to LA, and I say about 2 weeks after moving to LA, I got booked on a movie. It was a C&D movie. It was a sci-fi movie, and I got SAG eligible from there. And then I was like, oh my God, I can do this. And then, during the hustle and bustle, doing background work and, not giving up and
Right, right.
get up here.
Not giving up. That was the key right there.
Yeah, not giving up, not letting anyone tell you you can't do it because there's so many naysayers out there telling you, oh, you can't do this, this is impossible, and blah, blah, blah. And nothing is impossible if your mind is not limited.
Exactly, exactly. Wait, so you got a little background in comedy.
Yes.
I would have never guessed that just based on the current roles that you play. I would have never that. So that's awesome. And then do you like hopefully one day is it like stand up or were the roles just like for like comedic roles or like
I was Second City's improv. So, I was, I thought I was going to do sitcom, like either single cam or multi-cam, so I got trained into that. So if I needed to do it, I can do it. And it's, ironic. One of my shows is coming out called Never Have I Ever. And this comedy is like a dramedy. It comes out July, I think, 15th on Netflix. And it's, yeah, I got booked. I actually got booked on that before I was booked on a Shy.
oh wow.
Yeah, and what happened was I got booked on a Shy, and a Shy obviously had me under a contract, and Never Have I Ever only had me on one episode, and they had me on Veil, and Veil is, just in case if we can shoot this other episode, and they needed to shoot it to tie
Right.
into the first one, but the Shy pulled me. But I love Netflix. Netflix didn't hold it against me. They asked me to come back this year, and we did it again.
That's awesome. I'm happy that you're so like versatile. You can be in any environment, any role.
Yeah,
That's
that's my ultimate goal, to continue to be like that. I don't want to be typecast. I want to, do it all.
right across the board. How important is that? So you're a Chicago native. You're on The Shy. You have such a breakthrough role in that show. How important is that for you to represent like your city?
Extremely, when I say extremely, extremely important, for me, it's a lot of pressure because you want to make sure you're doing a great job, because I'm a Chicago native. It's not like some of the other people who we are like grateful that are on the show. But being a Chicago native, we are under a little bit more pressure because people are expecting us to bring it even more, because we're representing the city. This is our city. By the way, shout out to all my shy people out there. We are representing this city, this great city that so many greats came from Lena Waithe to, Oprah Winfrey to Doc Waters. So many, from Joey, who did transplant, and, the Kowski sisters. So many people came from here. So it's like making sure that I represent in a way that I'm having some type of impact on the community in Chicago, but not only that, the Black community, the LGBT community,
Right.
women, making sure that I represent. So I was like, oh my God, it's just a lot on my shoulders right now. So the response that I'm getting from people, letting me know, okay, just keep stepping it up, because people are loving what you're doing. And all I have to do as a creator, as an actor, is just keep making sure I step up.
Right, right. And you're doing it well.
Thank
Um,
you.
how do you tap in? Like when you prepare for Amani, what's your creative process like?
Ooh, one of them, I learned that it's really helpful. Like, I will play some music depending on the scene that I have. But to prepare, when I get the script and I realize what she's about to do, just like in a trap house. In season 3, I think it was episode 3, which was one of my favorites from that season. Season 3, I prepared myself by doing research on sex trafficking. I prepared myself, what girls go through mentally, what it's like to have, dealt with that, and being in Chicago. So I have a little bit of, what it's like to live here. And I've seen and heard stuff back in the day that pertains to what we were shooting. So that gave me a little advantage. So I create a world, in my head, of course, like all the other actors, and I write down my circumstances, what's happening, what's important, what's my 5 truths that's going on in the story, and what's my relationship to each person, because my relationship with each person is going to impact the way I respond to each individual.
So you think about it like really thoroughly, like
Have to, for me, every
right.
actor has a different process. For me, I'm learning the more I go in my career, that is what's working for me.
And then your role in this show is so groundbreaking. Like I enjoy watching because the show's just your guys' show is one of the only ones like when I watch, I'm anticipating the next one. And you guys do a good job of like, even though there's a trailer and stuff like that, you never know what's gonna happen next.
Yes, that's the shot. You just
It's all ranges, but it touches us in such a good way. I feel relatable when I watch, like being, even though I'm not a Chicago native, I am from the Black community. So when I watch it, I get excited that you guys showcase stuff in a way that we don't really get seen in. And there's so many different, scenarios that you guys break down for us. Like I just appreciate. Only one person who watches, but I know, others as well. They appreciate that as well. Just seeing that playback on TV, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's one thing, that's one of the many things I love about The Shy. First of all, what you said is so true. Like, you never know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen until we get the script. People were asking me things. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't got the script to that yet. So I have no idea what's going to happen. We're anticipating, like, yo, so we're in it together. And, but yeah, that's the fun of it. You just don't know. And I love that, how we educate people. We learn certain things. I learned certain things, and I'm like, wow, never even thought of that. Like, that's amazing. And that's our job as creators is to entertain, educate, and inspire. And if we're doing those things, then I feel like what you said, we're having an impact and it touches people.
Definitely, because I'm tuned in every Sunday. I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
got recorded. I'm logged in. Like, that's my hour of uninterrupted, just focus because it's just so real. So I enjoy it. Everyone on there is great. Usually shows they have like, I won't talk about, particular ones, but the acting can be bad, but the storyline's good and vice versa. But you guys
Yeah.
hit every week. Y'all,
I know. I know.
I ain't saying no names, but I'm just saying like it's good quality work. So I appreciate when I'm able to view that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I totally get that. And I'm grateful that we have both.
Right. When you're on set, what is like you have to have hair product at all times? What do you always have on you?
I have to have some Moroccan oil. I have to have, it moisturize your hair, but also help tame the frizz without putting too much product in your hair. Because, once you start putting too much product in your hair, especially if you're wearing a unit, you got to watch it. It's just, we got to be careful. Then if you're wearing your real hair too, like you really don't want too much product. So my go-to, I love Moroccan oil. I love, that it doesn't weigh my hair down, but yet I get that good smelling thing, so definitely.
Gotta stay moisturized.
Yes.
And then like what other, without giving spoilers, how do you think Jasmine, uh, I'm sorry, Imani, not you, but well, I guess you could take it in both aspects. How does your
Yeah.
character evolve? And when your character evolves on the show, how do you feel like your personal self, like how do you transition that as well? Is a piece of you also transitioning, like growing in a different way as your character does as well?
Oh, you brought up such an amazing question. I'm so glad you asked me that because wow, sis, this is such a yeah, you hit it on the head because I feel like Imani matured me in a way of being brave. I learned so much from this woman, her bravery, her tenacity, her unapologetic of I'm human, I exist, I'm a woman, I'm God. This is me in this form. I'm not here to really care to explain too much, you know. The fact that, she's, in her own skin and she's so comfortable, especially as a trans woman, as a black trans woman, and she don't really care to explain too much about who she
Oh,
is. She's like, honey, this is me. I'm a woman. This is the type of woman I am. But don't get it twisted. you
no,
know.
for real. And I
And,
enjoy that too because I feel like you're speaking for so many people who don't have that voice yet. And if anything, like you said, you're inspiring them to find their voice and like, this is my story, this is my truth, and I'm going to stand by it no matter what.
yeah, and it inspired me to like stand by my truth and stand by my story as Jasmine. Like, so many things. I'm like, wow, I never would have said. Imani inspires me to just live in my own skin, to even talk about these things that, back in the days you couldn't even get me to talk about because I was either intimidated, afraid, or I didn't even have the courage to talk about them. And she gives me the courage to talk about these things and be there. So I am so grateful that I get to play this character that actually rubs off to me in my real life. yeah.
No, that's so amazing that things like that when they happen, I feel like it's meant to be. I mean, you're from Chicago. You of anyone else would know best. Like, I think a part of that also helps with the character development. Like, what it's like in that environment. The energies out there different. Like, and I know that plays into who Imani is. Like, that all kind of just snowballs into one. So I think you were meant for the role. I think
Thank
it was
you. Thank you. You know what, sis? I agree too, because and I would have thought they would have gave it away because I auditioned late for it. But like you said, what's meant for you is meant for you, and it apparently was meant for me to get it because it all happened so fast after auditioning and all that. Within 2 weeks, I'm already getting on a plane going to Chicago. I'm like, this is just happening way too fast. I can't even process what's about
right.
to happen.
And you came to LA. The move to LA was for acting?
Was for everything in general. I wanted the new scenery. I just, I just wanted to like get away because I've been coming to LA for a while. I've been coming back and forth to LA, and I travel a lot. And I wanted to move somewhere like nice, but at the same time, I wanted to pursue my career. I could have went to New York, but I'm like, there's another, the weather. I'm a tropical girl. I like getting a tan. I like
Like
sun.
fun.
With my vitamin D. And, so LA was a fit for me. So it was like so many things added up. And I will always ask myself, like, okay, hypothetically, if you don't make it as an actress, can you see yourself living there? I'm like, I can always model. I'm like, but what if you don't want to model? And I kept saying, well, I want to live somewhere sunny, somewhere bright.
And then you come to LA and then boom, you're back home. You're like, look, but things happen for a reason. You wanted the weather, you wanted that change of scenery, and I mean home will always be home, but it's good to have like that transition to where you can bounce back and forth too.
Totally, honey, totally. Like you have in the winter times here, I'm like, adios.
I'm out of here. I need no snow, no nothing, no cold at all.
I'm like, the only snow I want to see is maybe a weekend for Christmas, or if I'm like skiing or snowboarding. Other than that, I'm good.
You mentioned your audition was late. Was it like late in the day and you almost didn't make it, or was it like, oh, this happened like it's supposed to happen 2 weeks ago and I'm just getting to it?
It was just, yeah, something like that. Like, because I wasn't sure if I wanted the role, to be honest, because how, some people write, certain things for, people of minorities, of any minority. Sometimes you can be stereotypical, or to be like, what kind of trash are they, writing?
How are
So,
they paying us?
yeah, how am I going to be portrayed? It's going to be how they, used to portray us. I don't know. So you get discouraged when you get certain things, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do all that. So yeah, I was kind of late, like auditioning, because they've been auditioning people for it, and yeah, I guess they didn't find what they were looking for until I auditioned for it.
That's because they was waiting for you.
Yeah, yeah, apparently.
What I know you like your Moroccan oil, but what's your favorite hairstyle like of all time? What's your jam? Like you go to it all the time?
I always go back to micro braids.
Mhm.
I always go back to micro braids because, summertime, or just if you don't want to like do anything, you want low maintenance but still stylish, and still looking good. Micro braids is my thing, with the little, you spray it with the little shea butter spray, and you just gone. You done.
Right, right. It's easy, quick. You put your scarf on for bed, take it off, and you out the door.
You're out the door, you lay your like edges down like I'm doing right now.
But I love it. I love it. And I was asking my last participant that came on, because you mentioned your scarf. How do you feel like, I know when I go to the airport, I put my bonnet on. Are you somebody that wear your bonnet in public as well?
I've never done it until I just start getting my hair done by people who charges a lot of money, but they slay your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you don't lay these edges down and put a bonnet on when when you're flying and you're about to go to sleep. And I did it for the first time in first class. And I didn't care for the very first time what anyone thought of me, because I realized if someone's not going to like you, they're not going to like you in general. Going to judge you in general. And being a person of color, no matter what we do, someone always going to have something to say. And I just realized that, or being a part of the LGBTQ community, if you're noticeable, a part of the LGBTQ, someone's always going to have something to say. So why, excuse my language, y'all, give a fuck and
No.
live your life and be happy for you. Whatever makes you happy, do it for you. Stop caring what these people think, because a lot of people are unhappy. You are living your own happiness. So I was in first class for the very first time about 3 weeks ago with my thing on, and I put my bonnet on, and girl, I was like laid back in my not,
Chilling.
but when I landed, I was the only one when I took that bonnet out, hair was still slayed.
On a 4-hour flight, and I'm still looking good.
And I'm still looking good. I don't know about y'all, but I'm still looking good. But yeah, so I'm all for it, wearing my bonnet on the plane. I'm always dressed cute because you never know who you're going to meet. But again, it's not to impress anyone or, it's for me. I like to look cute. But to me, a bonnet is stylish. And, I know it's been a lot of controversy about it, but my thing is, I'm doing what makes me happy.
That's awesome. And they are cute because sometimes they have the bedazzled ones. You could customize it, put your logo on it. So you're right.
Yeah.
Bonnets are. Um, we appreciate you being on. Like, I'm so grateful that you are here, giving us just your insight on your character and just you as a person. If you could give yourself like advice, your younger self, what would you tell yourself? Like 10 years ago, what did you wish
Oh,
you know?
I will say, have the courage to be you. Have the courage to be you, not somebody else, not an idea of what people think you are. Have the courage to be you. And if you don't know who you are, which most of us don't when we're younger, have the courage to search and find out who that person is.
That's the realest thing I heard all day.
Right? Like, seriously.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, you guys. The Shy comes on Showtime Sundays. Put your DVRs on set and record it because we are so thick. You know what really messed me up? Y'all did a little the previews in the first episode of like what is
Yeah.
happen. So now I'm on the edge of my seat and I'm like, I know the outcome and I'm trying to figure out how it go down. So
Wait,
I
but do you know the outcome?
no, well, that's the thing. Who knows? Because I just saw
Yeah.
a snippet.
And
I
that's the thing.
saw
Do you really know the outcome? Because
right.
we're wrapping up episode 10, and I was like, I thought this was happening. Girl, it's so many twists. I'm like, this what makes this show fun. But again, I'm so grateful to be here. Like I said, growing up reading the magazine and just grateful that, we have a platform to talk about our hair. So thank you for having me.
Of course. And we want to spread it beyond here. Lifestyle, like you said, you mentioned your journey of discovering who you were and just voicing that. Any positive thing that we can reach out on our platform, we're all for it. So we really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, and for everyone who's listening, my other show is coming out in July, I think 15, called Never Have I Ever. But you can follow me on my Instagram called at the Jasmine Davis to keep up with that. And I have music coming out and maybe some little.
Ooh.
Look out for that.
Oh, will. Thank you so much.
Have a good one, love. Thank you for having me.
Of course.